Welcome back, gamers, to our gaming podcast. I'm back again with one of my amazing co-hosts, Mr. Patman.
How you guys doing?
For Patty has some things to take care of, and as of right now, he will not be joining us for this episode 3. So, yeah, Patman, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm happy to be back in the gaming podcast once again. Happy to be here. Excited for what we have to talk about today. We've got some big news for you. A lot going on.
Awesome. And as I'm editing this right now on YouTube, guys, obviously this is live right now for you guys that are watching on YouTube, or if you guys are now listening to this over here on whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or any of the other podcast networks, you guys can also check all this out on the Chatamus Productions YouTube, and Mr. Patman is actually going to be creating a YouTube within the next couple of weeks. Is that right, sir?
That is correct. Patent pending, but it'll be Patman Games with a Z, so look out for that. It'll be starting up here in the next couple weeks or so.
That is awesome to hear, my friend. It's a very, very amazing, fun road you're about to take a journey upon.
I'm excited.
I am excited to tune in and possibly watch some of your amazing content that you're going to be making. So we also talked about that previously in the last podcast, and we'll most likely be talking about it in the future podcast as well, because that is not only a small step, that is a extremely large step into the entertainment world. So as I'm finishing here, trying to remember what I was doing over on YouTube, we are finishing categorizing this under entertainment, even though I just seen there's something that says blogs, but this isn't a blog. We're under entertainment here on YouTube, so we're going to save those, and I think we're good over there. So, anything exciting happen over this current weekend?
Not particularly. I'm moving, so, lots of boxes. My cat is actually doing pretty well with the change, as far as I can tell. She's she's still using the litter box, so that's my big priority.
Awesome.
She's not going all. So she's adapting to the change well so far.
Yeah,
it's been a week, so big excitement there.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't have a cat. I do have a dog and some other little critters, but no cats in this house for now. So I've never been a big fan of cats. I do love kittens. I think they're adorable and enjoyable, but as I see the marks on your arms every day, notice that they are very feisty and very what were they call them? Bipolar? Very bipolar?
Bipolar. They live up to their name. Cats live up to the stereotype that they uphold.
Yeah,
they do it well. I didn't grow up with cats. I grew up with dogs, but Alice she has as much personality as any dog I've ever met, but she has the feistiness of stubbornness I could be as a kid.
Yeah,
real stubborn. She definitely has always had personality to add to the apartment. So
yeah.
What about you? Anything exciting going on in your life?
No, not exactly. I mean, just obviously the changes coming to the quote unquote business, and that's pretty much it. Gaming as much as possible.
Yeah,
trying to keep that going. So we obviously aren't going to be having a PvP session this week. We didn't even have any plans in that yet, but I know that seems to be a wonderful segment we have on here. But what was the brief
recap of our last week's episode? We went over Halo 5 for the PvP segment, so if you guys are interested in listening to that, we spent some time talking about Prometheans and campaign versus multiplayer. Really dove into the nitty-gritty on our own opinions of the game. So if you guys are looking for, I know it's about 6 years or so late, 7, even if we since the game came out, but if you're looking for some content there, we talked about that. Weapons, Halo 4 versus 5, and we even dipped back into the original trilogy a little bit to talk about how it kind of evolved as a series. So After that, definitely we talked about Chad. What did we talk about after the PvP segment?
You guys went into, well, I mean, besides that, obviously Minecraft Dungeons, but if you're talking about the Halo 5,
That's
you guys
right.
were talking about the AI changing and
That's right.
becoming like an all-out AI Terminator in Halo.
Yeah, it was very different. So anyway, that pretty much sums up.
Nice.
Speaking of Minecraft Dungeons,
Yes.
Chad, you have had the chance to play this week, correct?
I did. I actually currently, if you guys are watching live on the video or on the previous, once this goes up live, of course, on the podcast, you guys will be able to go back, and if you want to watch video of pretty much just my face right now, which isn't that entertaining, once we get Patty and Patman some video equipment, it'll be more entertaining with them on here, but you guys can watch that over on YouTube as well, where you'll get a video exclusive. So more information will be like behind the scenes and stuff. I wanted to shout that out. Will be eventually, you guys will be able to get that in certain places, so that is in the works, but I am currently, for you visual viewers, playing right now on YouTube Live. So yes, I am enjoying. I haven't been able to play a lot or further into the game. I'm pretty much level 7 is the highest character I have, but I do have 4 characters, so I have been playing a lot, just not getting through the game. What about you?
I am on the very last level, but I don't have 4 characters. I have just one. I've been leveling him quite a bit. Definitely experiencing as much as I can of what the game has to offer, and I am impressed for taking the concept of Minecraft and totally shifting the genre, but still maintaining the feel of a Minecraft-esque game. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I would have to agree 100%. Considering I have played it over and over again, just the first 2 dungeons, at least, probably. This is my 7th time right now, and I'm playing on a harder mode, but at least 6 times I have played it, and it hasn't gotten redundant. As I'm seeing right now, they have multiplied the amount of zombies for just me, because I'm solo right now. It looks like when there's usually only like 2 or 3, I'm seeing about 10, maybe 12. So, yeah, it is definitely, it can be a lot harder on the increased difficulties. So, and it says that you get better loot. I haven't looted anything as of yet, so looking forward to finding out what kind of loot they are saying we're going to get. So,
and I can attest to that, having played through the bulk of the game on normal difficulty. I can only imagine what kind of cool loot they'll have to offer in higher difficulties once you beat the game. But in the normal difficulty, especially towards the end, you get some unique items that have some really cool visual effects and some cool inherent abilities outside of the enchanting that they already give you. So definitely worth looking for.
Awesome. Yeah, we prior to coming on, we always do like a preview into the podcast before we go live, or before we record, either way, so we know what we're talking about. And yeah, he's been telling me that the game's pretty awesome. So it's a lot to look forward to, I think.
And I will also mention I'm a pretty big fan of the dungeon crawler type game, but for as simplistic and rather simple Minecraft Dungeons might be, they did a really good job with still keeping it fresh and always feeling new, not just getting old quickly. Dungeon crawlers can easily fall into that. So
that's good. So yeah, speaking about the equipment, had you talked to Patty, or have you gotten any equipment? I don't know if
I have not. I have looked at some mics. I found a few under $100. I'm looking at getting, but nothing major yet. No big purchases. We'll see if that lasts. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. What were you looking at? Like, just for a brief, what kind of mics?
I did some research and I found a couple of Pro Series mics, some Sony mics, but those were a little expensive. And then I have a couple links. Sister did some research on mics as well that she sent me.
Yeah, and you are cutting out a little bit there.
Oh.
You said, I heard it sounded like you said your sister sent you some links.
Yes, she sent me some links of mics that I should look at, and I have not looked at those yet, but that's on my agenda.
Okay, no problem. I do have, there's a $65 mic that has the same quality of a $450 mic. I do have some links that I was going to share with you guys
Please
over.
do.
Yeah, because they supposedly one of the companies that I'm looking at hosting our podcast, they actually on one of their videos they actually recommend those, and supposedly they're the same quality of the mic that I'm using right now, which is the I guess the redheaded stepchild of mics. It is obviously the Blue Yeti. So, probably the best sounding mic I've ever heard on anybody else's stream. Also, my stream. I have done a lot of research on the Blue Yeti. Yes, it's got a high price tag for what they consider nothing. But if you go out there and watch a lot of streams or even videos, a lot of people recommend the Blue Yeti. It is
and I will say I have heard of the Blue Yeti before.
Yeah. Well, Yeti, basically you're paying for I think the name more than anything. They've made a name for themselves in the streaming / video in entertainment business, basically. And a lot of people use them, so they've gotten a lot of flack on, like, it's $169.99 for the same quality you can get for $65. Well, that's great. I'm very glad that a company made a mic that has the same quality for $65. I think that's great. I enjoy this mic very much. It's very, very bulky. It's very big, but I like it. I think that it sounds better than any mic that I've had, and it's only the 5th mic that I've had. So the first one was Blue Snowball or whatever, same company.
Gotcha.
And I only used that for a week because I didn't like it. It was just too cute, circular. So
okay. Well, do you have any games you've been looking forward to playing, or any exciting news for the week besides Minecraft Dungeons?
I know you were talking to me about a game last week. Something I wasn't really interested in it, but I know it's pretty popular right now, and I have been watching some people stream it and some reviews on it. I think, what was it called?
Maneater.
Yeah, Maneater. So it's like a shark game.
Yeah, so it's like to use a term that a favorite YouTuber of mine, Game Ranks, Jake Baldino, he used the term Tony Hawk's Pro Shark. Tony Hawk's Pro Shark is the way I describe it. It's very I love it based on how it looks. Of course, I'm looking forward to playing it. I have not tried it yet, but I am excited to play it. I definitely think it's going to be fun. It's definitely not your traditional game. It's very Goat Simulator-esque, Shark Simulator, if you will. But I am definitely looking to try. Sure. I also, and you don't know this, today I got Link's Awakening.
Oh
Finally,
my god!
I'm a few months behind, but that is one that I am very excited.
Funny you mentioned that, because I have decided, besides the Minecraft series that I'm doing, I'm going to try to do as much of Link as I can before the newest installment comes out of Breath of the Wild 2, because that has been announced. So I want to I already have 2 episodes already done and recorded and uploaded. They obviously didn't do so well because I wasn't doing too much at that time. But I plan on finishing that series on YouTube. So I hope you do the same. I hope you do a stream or a video of that, because it's an amazing game. It's just like the other game they just came, Animal Crossing. It's very Animal Crossing-esque. And obviously it's more adventure than anything. But it's so fun, and so the look of it is so amazing. I think they did a very good job.
Interesting about it is that I never played the original. I did not play the original Link's Awakening, so I am curious how that
well, you and I are in the same boat there, unless we're talking about A Link to the Past. I'm not sure. I don't remember Link's Awakening. Was it a 2DS title?
It was not 2DS. Link's Awakening is old. It's like Game Boy Color, if that.
Oh, okay.
Game Boy. It's an older title. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know too much about it. I'm showing here Maneater trailer for those that are on the visual platform. For you guys on the audio, like I said, that is Chatamus Productions. If you guys want to see that trailer, obviously there's no audio because we don't want to throw out the audio there, but that's what Maneater was, and we'll close that so we don't have that up. But yeah, that doesn't look like a bad game. I've just never been a fan of water games like Subnautica.
And neither have I.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's mainly based in water, and I think that's the problem. Like, for like car games, like my question of a video game that has to do with cars is, can you get out of the car? And if the answer is no, I'm usually like, yeah, I'm not interested in it. So, but yeah, I feel like that's the same way. If you can't go on land, it just doesn't feel. I know you're a shark and all, so that would not be good for the shark. It would be the demise. But just, I don't know. The restrictions, I think, is the biggest thing. I've never liked restricted games. I like games that allow you to do whatever you want, i.e. Minecraft. Minecraft is the least restricted game that I have ever played. So I think that's why I find it to be soothing and enjoyable. So, speaking about new things and cameras and mics and stuff like that, I know we were talking about this recently. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. What are your thoughts?
I mean, they're very similar consoles. I'm pretty excited for the Series X, though. That's on my purchase list for this year. Absolutely.
Agreed. I myself just picked up the PS4. I've never played it still to this day. I plan on doing some streams. A friend of mine also wanted me to play some competitive games on there, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and not Roblox, the other Rocket League. So I plan on doing some streams with that, maybe in the future. Hopefully, if I ever find time. But yeah, I think I'll end up getting both. What do you think about price range? I know they're talking very closely to the same price, but I read something or listened to a video about they're basically trying to see who's going to throw out the price first.
Yeah, I mean, it's really for what the console is, for what both consoles are, they're going to be very cheap comparatively to what's in them. So I think that most people are expecting prices to go up. As it stands, I think the PS5 is a little more expensive than the Xbox, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I personally, like I said, I'm all in for the Xbox Series X, so they'd have to jack up the price pretty high before I'm like, maybe I don't need it. Because it's the next generation. And if you don't keep up, you fall behind. That's how technology kind of works. So
yeah, I agree. And looking into some of like what he was saying about the pricing, it looks like most of these GDDR6s, which that is what the two consoles both are inside, basically with the graphics card. They will be around the $2,000 mark. Obviously, it's not going to be the quality of a PC graphics card, but it's very, very similar. And for $399 or $499 or $599, that's just the graphics card. The price of that is, and it's the newer series of what is the 20 series, I believe, that they are compared to with the DDR6 or the GDDR6. So I didn't want to go too much into that because I don't know a lot about the mechanical size or the statistics. I don't know what a lot of that stuff means. Comparative to what a previous two consoles, it is massive amount of an increase. So
absolutely.
For them to price range that the same as what they're selling the current consoles for is crazy. So, I know a lot of the reviews basically said that this option is going to get you the closest to a computer that would cost you roughly around $1,500 for that small price of either $399, $499, or $599, depending on how they're going to go. So I think that's crazy, and I think it's going to open up a lot of more power for the console generation. So
I completely agree. I think that the consoles could use sort of a buff. It's definitely been. I mean, if you don't count the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S X, if you don't count either of those, then it's been a minute since a truly new console has come out. I mean, the Xbox One came out in, I think, 2013-ish. And given that it's been that long, PCs have not stopped evolving since then. I definitely think that going forward, if PCs continue to evolve, if consoles want to even compete, they should try to catch up. And I definitely see the Series X performing that function very well.
Yeah, and
as well as the PS5.
And yeah, and that's the biggest difference, like between PC gamers and console gamers. Like, console gamers are waiting for the next console to come out. That's plain and simple. They are not really that much customizable. Now, whether they plan on being customizable is very hearsay. I don't know anything that I've seen about them being customizable, but I do know that the parts that are inside them are super expensive to replace, whether you're upgrading or even just getting the same part, because they're basically just throwing out a really good deal. I mean, we're talking about 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM. Like, that is a lot of RAM. Me recently buying 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, which cost me $150. You could expect to spend at least $300 on that 16 gigs, if not more. But that's already included in this system, so I think that's crazy. I'd love to learn more about all this stuff and know more about this, but that's not who I am. I play the games, I buy the systems. I don't really go into the crazy technical side of that.
Yeah.
I do know that these systems are going to be 4 times, let's say 2 to 4 times better than the systems that we have now. So I'm so looking forward to buying both of those and trying those out. So, and also, if that's something you guys would like to see, I would definitely do videos of that as well. I've just never been a technical person, so I like to keep my facts correct when I am out there saying, hey, this is this and that is that. And that's a lot of research. So props to those that do go out there and do that and do make those videos for us people like me that like to talk about briefly about it. So it gives you guys a little bit of headway of what you're looking at for the future of whether it's a console or a game. So what else would you like to say on that?
I think technology moving forward is a great thing, and I think that the Series X making up the gap for PC will, between PC and consoles will help. But I think you have a really good point about the difference between console gamers and PC gamers, especially since parts are so expensive inside of consoles. They definitely do wait around for the next console to come out, and that's a really big part of the console experience, is looking forward to the next big thing. But I think with the Series X, I think they are trying to compete with PC a little more by putting top-level technology into it. And the same for PS5. I think that's where they're trying to get, is like, you may be a PC gamer, but we can offer you a console for a cheaper price, and maybe that will convert people back into the console market. Because for a while here, the PC market has really exploded, but at the same time, it's so expensive to build your own PC with the best parts out there, because buying the best NVIDIA graphics card out there by itself is significantly more expensive than just buying the individual piece, or than just buying it with the console.
Yeah, and to touch on that, I'm looking into getting a new PC that is literally the peak of the time, meaning the best graphics card, the highest amount of RAM, the best motherboard, which is the issue with my computer currently, the best of everything, power supply, etc., etc. And I'm looking at no less than $3,500. Like, that is not even the best stuff. That is just barely reaching, the top range parts. To actually get what I want, it'd be around $45,000 to $5,000, which is crazy. But
exactly,
that is literally the difference. That's 10 times the amount you're going to be paying for one of these consoles, and I think that is amazing. And they have VR capabilities. Like, VR capability on PC is, you're going to have a really, really good PC. And like, my PC can barely run VR. Streaming it is another story. That's why I don't stream my VR. I've always recorded it prior and edited it and posted it. And that's only been 1 or 2 times because of how draining on me and the system it can be. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that as it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
So I looked into the Switch and the Nintendo. I know they're talking about, or there's whispers of a Switch Pro, but considering the Switch itself, like the graphics card that it has in there, I believe was out of date as they were being put into the market. So it's not really the highest, which Nintendo's never really been about graphics itself. It's pretty much the gameplay. Yeah,
is with the Switch, it's never really. It was same with the Wii U. It's never been about graphical power and what kind of beautiful experience they can provide. It has always been more about what the quality of the games. You know, Nintendo's clearly known for their franchises and for the games they're creating, unless for the content or unless for the graphics that it's coming with. So I definitely think that yes, Nintendo is not. Then is the Switch Pro. I mean, it's there, but
yeah,
will it sell like the original Switch? Certainly not.
What about like them putting all these AAA titles onto it? Like The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch.
It's interesting that you bring that up because that kind of counters my previous statement, and I kind of wonder, like, what is it that they're trying to do? Why would they do that exactly? Because that's not really what they're about.
Mm-mm.
But then again, I think they're trying to boost sales by saying, okay, we have all these people who are playing on the Nintendo Switch. What can we do to make it so that those same people still have access to other games?
Yeah.
Even if they're not in it for the quality. Because everybody knows that, like, you don't buy a Nintendo Switch because it's going to have the best graphics card on the market. You buy it because of the games, first-party games that it's going to have. But if you could have that same experience and also get to experience the other games, even if it's not quite to the same quality, that's still viable.
Well, imagine playing The Witcher 3 in the palm of your hands. And being maybe not as different. Good of graphics, but just the same experience, if not better, taking it anywhere you want, which I think is amazing. But they've had stuff like Ark. They put Ark on there, and it literally had the worst reviews ever. And it was one of the first big, highly graphic games, and it failed horribly. But then you throw out, I think Witcher is already out or coming out soon on there, and it looks amazing. Obviously, it's not going to be your PC graphics or even your PlayStation or Xbox graphics, but it still looked phenomenal for a handheld system. And then obviously docked is even better. So, and I know the guys. Go ahead.
It has other advantages. That's the thing about the Switch is, like, compared to the other consoles, sure, it's definitely, technically speaking, disadvantaged, but the portability of it is just incomparable to the other consoles. I mean, every night I'm like, man, I wish I had such and such Xbox game on my Switch so I could just take it to bed with me and play it in bed before I fall asleep instead of having to quit now because it's on my TV screen.
Well,
to me, that's a huge win.
Well, like we talk about, like not Xbox, but Minecraft, and then Minecraft Dungeons as well. Like, there's so many people that will be playing with me on either a PC or a console, and then they'll take either their phone or their Switch into bed with them, and they'll continue playing for a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
It gets them into the next stage of what they're doing, and they play for 30 minutes to an hour, and then they go to bed instead of just going to bed. So I think that is amazing. And I know I don't want to touch too much on the PS Vita, considering, it doesn't have the greatest following. I mean, it has a following for sure. I always wanted to pick up one. I never did. It just didn't seem, with the fact that they made titles just for that versus actually putting games on there was my biggest thing. Like, they had Assassin's Creed Trials or some secondary game that just didn't really, it wasn't like the Switch. It's like putting on, AAA titles, like instead of a smaller version of the game or a type of game that's similar to it but wasn't actually the game. Like Grand Theft Auto, what was it, Liberty City Stories? or something that was also on there. Stuff like that. It wasn't Grand Theft Auto 5. It was just a Grand Theft Auto-esque game with the name. So didn't really hold up. So I don't know if that was a failure, but...
Now, you mentioned earlier that Breath of the Wild 2 had been announced.
Correct.
Do you mean like the trailer that they put out like a year or two ago, or do you mean like the date had been announced?
They announced it at not the last, but the second to last E3 or Nintendo, whatever they want to call their E3. Let me pull it up for you. And I believe it's to be either the end of this year or maybe the beginning of next year. So, because I'm really looking forward to that. But you've seen that trailer, right?
I've seen the trailer. Of course I've seen the trailer. I'm just making sure we're talking about that. I didn't know if new information had come out about that because I'm very excited for that game.
Let's see. Imminent for fans waiting on a release date is pretty much the most it has. Breath of the Wild 2. So, yeah. So, basically, all we got was the trailer, or the ending, pretty much, of the previous installment, and then the segue into the new installment. And I haven't played anywhere close to... I maybe have, 4 hours in that game, so... Which I said, I definitely want to go back, and I want to finish all of the Zelda/Link games, so...
And you absolutely should.
Yeah, because it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite game. So, obviously, Minecraft is one of my favorite games, but I feel like there's a lot of Zelda Link-ish in Minecraft, which makes Minecraft so amazing. So, let's see, Nintendo Direct.
So, you mentioned you were thinking about streaming Rocket League soon.
Yes, so a buddy of mine from work plays Rocket League, and when I told him I was possibly getting a PlayStation 4, he mentioned to me that him and his friend are looking for a third, and I was like, well, I've been wanting to play Rocket League, but Xbox just doesn't, I have it on Xbox, and I played it a lot with RX, but I didn't really play it that much. I didn't really get into it, and PC doesn't really seem all that enthralling to me, but I guess Rocket League has found a good place on PlayStation 4, so I might be looking into doing some of that. Why do you ask, my friend?
I was in the top 100 Xbox players on Rocket League.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I once spent a lot, and I mean a lot of time. I think I put in something like 400 hours in 6 months or something on Rocket League. I was on it.
That is a crazy amount of time.
Yeah, I put more time into it than I did my full-time job, which was
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I got up early to play it. I was committed.
Yeah.
I got into it's competitive, and I got into the Champ 3 league before quitting.
Now, he said something about him and his friend are very good, too. They're, I don't know how good, but I'm guessing extremely good. Because they're
now, are these people we work with at our job?
No.
Okay. I was wondering, I would know these people, but...
I guess technically you would, but no.
Okay.
Different side. But,
gotcha.
Yeah, I could tell you more later on about that. But, so yeah, and I originally got the PS5 for, of course... Final Fantasy VII. Not going to talk anything about that just because I haven't played it. I haven't even touched my PlayStation, as I said earlier. I've not even used it for a Disney and Netflix and Hulu. And that's it. So,
gotcha.
Which they were previously using my PlayStation 3 for. So I figured, upgrade. But yeah, so after $600 later, still haven't played anything on it. But eventually I will try to play Rocket League again. I know quite a few people that do play it, so... if you are interested in playing sometime with me, I am down.
Would love to play it with you, but I will never play it again.
Why is that?
I have a very personal history with the game.
Yeah.
I played it a lot, as I said before, but not necessarily in a healthy way. I played so much that I
You're addicted.
Things got out of hand. I was playing it. I quit my job. I let it take over my life.
I gotcha. I
liked it so, and it's not like I didn't enjoy it. I just enjoyed it to an unhealthy level, and I don't think I could ever go back.
You always got to find a healthy median between video games or any kind of addiction.
I had to be able to moderate, and I couldn't. So that's why I quit playing it, and I don't think I could ever go back. But
that's right.
I am, of course, interested, and I will give you tips from when I played if you're looking to better at the game. I have been told by other players at the time that I was a great teacher.
That's good. Well, yeah, I look forward to that then, for sure.
Yeah.
So what other games do we know that are coming out soon?
Well, I read the other day that No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox Game Pass. And No Man's Sky is an interesting game for me because it was originally a PlayStation exclusive. And we all know it was, at least most of us know, it was a pretty big flop when it first hit the market. They promised a lot of stuff that they did not provide until much, much later.
Yeah, and that was about a year, I think, ago. Maybe a little bit longer.
I was going to say within a year and a half.
Because that's when I picked it up, about a year ago. And it was fun. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And what I've heard is that
they've really turned it around. It has become a really good game. But because it's hitting Xbox Game Pass, and you know I'm all about that free stuff life, yeah, I can't wait. I'm planning on downloading it just to give it a whirl and see. You know, I love Minecraft, and I love games like that where you're exploring and you're gathering materials. Those are right up my alley. They always have been. So I am super stoked, and I hope to be able to play some of that with you as well.
Well, I do know that it is not cross-play enabled, so I would also have to play it on Xbox Game Pass as well, because I do own it on PC, which is very fun. The fact that game can be handled on a console is very surprising to me, but I look forward to actually trying that. So I might actually already have it downloaded on Xbox. I'm not sure, but yeah. When does that launch on Game Pass?
Probably whenever they launch their June titles. Any other June titles, so probably the first of the month. So
okay, cool.
Tomorrow. As soon as tomorrow.
As soon as tomorrow. No, that's awesome. So we'll have to touch that again. If we do play it over the next week, we'll have to touch that again next podcast. So I from a standpoint of actually playing the game, it was very fun. It is not really, to me, it's not really a solo game. It's kind of like Minecraft. You can only do so much by yourself, but when you incorporate multiplayer, online multiplayer into the game, it can be a lot more fun. It had its downfalls because I did play this almost a year ago, I believe. But with other players that are interested in the same type of game as me and the same type of gameplay of that game could make the game extremely fun. So definitely looking forward to No Man's Sky. So, and it is a crafting survival game. So,
exactly,
which is kind of like what we've been pretty much on this entire time.
About.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
it's
Rust,
definitely one of our favorite genres.
Ark, Rust. There's a few. There's a lot of games that I've tried over the last few years. So that are pretty much that sandboxy survival crafting type game. So.
Well, and I definitely have to say, as far as games that I'm excited for, I mean, long term, Diablo 5. So,
they did release something about Diablo 5, and I feel like
Diablo 4. I'm way off. I'm so sorry.
Was it 4 or 5?
Yeah, it's Diablo 4.
So I did see that since Minecraft Dungeons came out, there's been a lot of chatter. So I don't know if they're the ones that stirred it up, or just the fact that this is a dungeon crawler very similar to Diablo. Maybe that brought it up. But yeah, I mean, like I said before in the previous episode, Diablo was a very fun game. I did not have a good experience with the people I played. They wanted to play it a different way because they'd already played it before.
Absolutely.
So kind of like my World of Warcraft experience was kind of the same way.
A lot of the titles I've been seeing with Minecraft Dungeons have drawn comparisons, and having played through the bulk of the campaign, the game definitely does have some serious comparisons, but it's not a ripoff. It's certainly not in a bad way. They just dungeon crawlers. They perfect that formula well. And Diablo has a history of doing that formula, so naturally you're going to borrow some of the best elements of that series.
And
game if you want it to be successful.
Dungeon crawlers have been around for so long. And my first dungeon crawler was a game called Darkstone, and that is a very, very old game. It's from the 90s. And when Diablo came out, I was like, oh, that's just a copy of Diablo. But, it's not. I mean, it's a different version. It's a different type of game. Like, you have MOBAs, you have RPGs, you have crafting games, sandbox games. You have so many different types of games. That is just a dungeon crawler game, and that's what Minecraft Dungeons is. It's a dungeon crawler game. So, and they're obviously taking things, maybe not taking things from Diablo, but they are using things very similar that makes the game so amazing. Like, your different inventory, the things that you can get, different weapons. Obviously, there's no classes in Minecraft Dungeons where there is in Diablo, but I'm glad that you're able to wield any weapon you choose. Any weapon you find on Minecraft Dungeons, you can use. Whereas in Diablo, it's not the same way.
Well, and I love that there's no real level cap on weapons. If you find it, you can carry it. That I found that to be different, but in a refreshing sort of way. Lots of dungeon crawlers have a leveling system, and there's not always a limit on, okay, I can pick up X gear, but it's way above where I'm actually at. That can happen, especially if you're playing with other people. Whereas in Minecraft, that's not a system. Sure, you have a power level, which is like a rating system, but it's not mandatory. It's not like, oh, I found X weapon, I have to at least be this power before I can even use it. If you find it and it's awesome, you get to try it out then and there. And that is awesome, because I have found some weapons where I was like, that is super cool, I want to do this right now. And I just popped it in, and then I could start smashing people with stuff. It was wonderful. I loved that. Immediate satisfaction.
I agree. I don't have to wait for that high level. I did forget about that, actually, that you have to literally wait for, if you get like a level 13 sword and you're level 9, you can't use it yet. And you pretty much either have to save it in your inventory or in your chest, but you couldn't even use it. So it's just like, why? Like, why can't I use this now? So, which this game definitely does not do. At least not that I've seen. And you said that you, even all the way through the game, you haven't seen any of that issues?
No, I have not seen any of that issues.
That's good.
I mean, your storage is, from what I know, your storage is infinite. My girlfriend definitely doesn't salvage things. She and I have bumped heads just a little, because I'm very picky about my inventory, because I've played many dungeon. So she tends to keep things a little longer and not be so hasty about the decisions she makes on her equipment. But I have noticed, like, she's been able to carry everything she picks up, and not.
Gotcha. Well, anything else? And I hope that next week Mr. Patty will be back with us. Most likely he will, so he just had some issues pop up. Also, you guys that are only audio, if you guys want to see, what we're talking about sometimes, you guys can join in on Chatimus Productions and check that out. So, what were you going to...
I was going to ask you if you are excited about Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, let's touch that again actually next week, since we're coming up on our hour here, and gotcha. Yeah, I think maybe we can get some more research about that, because I know it's been a little bit out of the news. It hasn't really been brought back up since the whole E3, Mr. Keanu Reeves and stuff. So I am looking forward to it, and I know everybody that I've played has. And I hope that it's a successful game, but right now I feel as if it's going to be very... what was that game? There's a game that was very hyped up, and it did not live up to standards. Now, I have a feeling Cyberpunk's going to do well. It's the one where you're a hacker.
So do I.
It's the one where you're a hacker. They made a second one.
Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was very much a flop.
Yeah, it was hyped up super much that you could pretty much do anything, kind of like Grand Theft Auto-y type game. And then what I played wasn't too bad, but I can understand where the frustration was, because it wasn't what people thought it was going to be. So
same.
And I don't know anything about Watch Dogs 2, so I can't really say much on that.
I know I watched it before you buy it. I know that it is a little better, but I haven't heard. It's wow. It's not wow.
Yeah, I have a feeling the Cyberpunk's going to be a wow factor, but yeah, we'll do some research, guys, and look into that, give you guys some more info, and hopefully we'll have I think there is a release date I know I've already pre-ordered it, so, but I don't know if there's an actual release date or if
there is. It's September 17th this year.
Okay. Awesome. So, and I most likely will be getting it on PC. I don't know yet as far as Xbox. Is it even multiplayer?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know that much about it.
And we'll make that next episode about that.
Absolutely.
And some more Minecraft dungeons. Once Patty gets in, we'll talk to him about some Minecraft dungeons. So, but yeah, anything else you want to wrap up with, sir?
No, just wanted to let everybody know, hey, we know the world is a little crazy, especially this time with COVID and everything involving George Floyd. But if you're out there and you're listening, please stay safe, whether you're protesting or not. Stay safe and remember to practice social distancing.
Yeah, for sure. We try not to get too political, but that is definitely something going on in the world right now. And prayers to the family and friends of Floyd. And hopefully everything calms down a little bit, and things happen the right way that they should, and justice happens all around in that situation. So much love to everybody out there. Obviously, the podcast unknown name that we were thinking didn't really work out since everybody
did not pan out.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do that. So we were going to be going with the what was it? The gaming station.
The gaming station.
So we've already
your source for all things gaming.
Yes, correct. It's not always going to be just about gaming, but we're going to center it around gaming, which we've pretty much said since the first episode. So we don't want to limit ourselves, considering the guests and friends and co-hosts that we have lined up to join us in future episodes, but we're definitely going to be centered around gaming, obviously. If you guys have any comments or questions, you guys can join in the comments section. You guys always email me if you guys have any other things you guys would like to talk about. But speaking about giving stuff away, but in the future, we will have some merch for the gaming station, and obviously for the Chatamus Productions side of it as well. I'm looking into that as well. There's a lot of things in the works, but mainly I want to just get me a t-shirt. I want to get these guys a t-shirt and other people a t-shirt to advertise the podcast, advertise the Chatamus Productions as an entity, so people know what it is and that it's out there, because advertising is one of the biggest parts of entertainment. So if we want to entertain people with the podcast or with gameplay, it's hard for people to see it if they don't even know what it is or don't even know it's out there. So, and one thing you guys can do is obviously subscribe, share the videos, share the streams, and that helps out a lot. And if you guys are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, there is a share button there as well. So if you guys are enjoying these live podcasts or pre-recorded podcasts, you guys can hit that share button and help us out so much. So other than that is it from me, Patman.
I think that's it for today, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep, see you guys next week. This will be a pre-recorded video next week. Thank you guys so much, and like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, let us know down in the comment section, and that's over on YouTube, of course. If you're on the audio, I'm sure there's a place there that I don't know of yet, but let us know what you guys think, and the gaming station signing off. Thank you guys.
Yep.